All right, Molly, thank you for having me in your classroom for this interview.
Thanks, Ace. Should I look at the camera or at you or? My name is Molly Fenn, and I'm an 11th and 12th grade English facilitator and leadership facilitator at Alameda Community Learning Center. I first started teaching because I didn't want to work in an office, and I worked in an office for a couple of years, and it was very boring. When I worked in an office, pretty much I just sat in front of a computer all day, and to be honest, like the ratio of time spent actually doing a task to time spent just zoning out on the computer was pretty large. So honestly, it was really boring. Teaching, on the other hand, keeps you very busy, which is both a plus and a minus, right? It's very stressful, but it's never boring. It definitely is a lot of work behind the scenes that I think people who have never been teachers don't really know, because you see the teacher up there and you kind of just think that that's what the teacher does, but really there's a lot of stuff that the teacher's doing outside of class to get ready. Well, this morning I got to work at 7:20 and I turned on my computer and I had a lot of copies to make because, as you might have noticed, you got a vocab packet and a grammar packet and so on. The handouts that I sat down at 7:20 a.m. to finish making, I started making over the weekend at home. It actually takes less time now because I've been teaching for a while, but when you first start out, it actually can take more than 40-hour a week job when school is in session. What you see here is a lesson plan that I project on the board every day, and it has an objective or goal for what learners should be able to do over the course of the lesson. These are the Common Core standards that align with the material that's being taught. These are the things that we're going to be working on in class by time, and here's the homework assignment that learners should be recording in class when I go over it, and then a lot of times I'll include other information that I want to project related to the lesson, like this was involving correcting some grammar practice and tests that we took earlier in the year. You're the first person who gets to know that we're going to be watching the classic film Shrek in class tomorrow. And we're going to use that film in order to study the literary theory lenses that you read about for homework. So we're going to be studying Shrek through gender, social class, deconstruction, archetypal, and reader response literary theory.
What would you say the hardest part about your job is?
It's exhausting. It's really exhausting. So like I said, it's not just the work that you do at school in front of the classroom, but after that, which in and of itself is pretty tiring. I'm not what I would call an extroverted person. I actually find crowds and talking in front of people to take a lot of energy. And so by the time I have done that for 5 hours, I'm pretty tired. Kind of like being a college student or a graduate student in some respects. Sometimes the work feels like it's never done because it could be better, you could revise it, and sometimes you just have to stop working on it knowing that it isn't perfect. So the exhaustion, both physical and mental, that goes along with being a teacher is probably the most difficult part. The downside is that you're exhausted, but the upside is that that's because you actually have things to do. Whereas some jobs that I found are more kind of just sitting in front of a computer, and sometimes you might actually run out of things to do and you're just really bored. Teaching really requires every part of you to be engaged, physically, mentally, intellectually, and in the end, that is a lot more satisfying than doing something that doesn't take that much out of you.
What do you think it takes to become a great teacher?
Wow. I don't know if there's only one thing. I think it kind of depends on each teacher's personality, because I'm sure that you've had multiple good teachers in your life, but they were probably all really different. I think that they really have to believe in what they're doing, I guess, if I had to make a generalization, because if you really don't like it, you're probably not going to be very good at it. I think that you have to be really interested in the work, and you have to be willing to work hard, and you have to actually find it fun.
Okay. Well, thank you, Molly, for letting me do this interview. I will be taking a couple more shots probably in the coming weeks of you teaching, and also maybe around the center or something like that.
Yeah, totally.
I think that'd be cool.
Okay, yeah, let me know.
Thanks. All right, I think that went well.